Alright guys, let's talk about something sort of COVID related. It is related to jobs. I've talked before about how a facility here locally is paying nurses daily, like literally giving them a check at the end of each of their shifts. Today, let's talk about another place. This place is letting you have an apartment, your own place to live at that facility. Now, this is the only one that I know of, and to be completely honest, it could just be a rumor that I have been told by several different people. But the rumor is, or the story goes, that this facility has apartments available for staff. If you choose to live in this apartment, you take a pay cut, as all of your expenses, according to the apartment itself, are paid for, such as rent, water, power, things like that. So you take a pay cut, and I've been told that it's a $10 pay cut. So if the average pay is $25, you're getting paid $15. However, you do have an apartment to live in that is yours. You get your mail there, you go grocery shopping and bring your food back there. I'm assuming that it has a kitchen, bedroom, bathroom sort of deal. I'm not exactly sure what this apartment has in it or doesn't have in it. This is the only one I've ever heard of like this. I'm sure that there's places like this throughout the United States. However, this is the only one I know of. In theory, this is a very good idea. This would be very good for a nurse who is single or lives with one person, not necessarily a child, as I can definitely see my children running up and down the halls of the facility. This is an assisted living facility, by the way. I don't know if I've said that. Nursing, long-term care, or assisted living. And it is for the nursing staff, so it could be a CNA as well. But this would be something that I could see a single healthcare worker living in, or a healthcare worker who lives with a partner, two people, one single partner, who are grown. If I had teenage children or a teenage child by myself, I could probably do it. But I don't think I could bring my entire family, my wife and my 3 children, to live in an apartment in an assisted living facility. I just don't see that happening. I believe that my children would be all over the place. However, it sounds pretty good. You're taking a $10 an hour pay cut, but at the same time, you're not paying rent, you're not paying power, you're not paying water. You're still paying for your food, and all of your other expenses, but you're not paying for everything else that comes with living in a house. You're not paying for, if a toilet breaks, I'm sure that the maintenance staff that is on site probably fixes it. If you have, leaks or power outages or whatever it may be, I'm assuming that the maintenance crew fixes it, and that is probably well worth taking the $10 pay cut, having all of your rent, water, power, and maintenance cost taken care of. And they're going to spray for ants and bugs, as you're in an assisted living facility, and they don't want those things there either. So you're going to get all these benefits of living in where you work. However, you will be living where you work. If they ever call you, say, "Hey, Chris, we really need you to come in today." "Oh, I'm so sorry, I'm sick." And they're like, "Oh, really? We saw you come out of your apartment and go to your car just a few seconds ago, and you did not look sick at all. You look like you were going out for a morning jog or something." "Oh, yeah, yeah, I got sick right after that." That's probably not going to fly if you live on site. I don't know what the on-call policy is, but I'm assuming you are the first one on call. That would be a very, very big negative for me. I don't want to be the first one on call. I don't want to come in on my days off. I definitely don't want to be the first one on call. So if they know you're there, you're probably going to be the first one on call. Also, if you keep weird habits, like you decide to stay up all night and blast music for hours on end, some people do, I'm not judging. But if you have habits like this, I'm assuming that the facility is going to become upset with you when you keep up all the residents and first shift comes on and no one wants to do anything, or Everyone is very angry because they're so tired from you keeping your music on all night. This could be an issue. And speaking of your weird habits, living somewhere, people are going to look, and people are curious. They're going to see when you're there, when you're not there, how you're dressed when you leave, things like this, and your personal life may start to become known throughout the facility. That would be a negative for me as well. Not that I do anything, out of the ordinary. However, I really don't want people asking me at all hours of the day, "Hey, where'd you go about 6 o'clock yesterday?" It's not really any of your business there, bud. But, that's going to happen because people get nosy, people get curious, especially when they're stuck in a facility like that. And there's a lot of gossip going on. As good as this idea sounds, for those reasons, even if I was a single individual who could use the $10 pay cut to live in a facility, I just don't think I could do it. I don't think I could personally live where I work. It would not work for me. Somebody has to be doing it, though, or this facility would not still be there. It would not still be what it is, even if, the rumor is false, but like I said, I've heard it a few times. Somebody has to live there. Somebody has to do this as for this facility to sort of thrive or, continue on, as they have to have staff there. And I would assume if they didn't have staff there, they would have a big sign out front that says something like, "Now taking applications for residents," or, something like that, as they want to keep those beds filled at all times. And an empty apartment is an empty bed. That's less money coming into the facility. So my assumption is someone is living in these apartments. There is probably staff living in these apartments. Also, another thing to consider, locally at least, our CNAs really don't make a whole lot over $10 an hour, at least not enough to make them have minimum wage. By that I mean, right now, in this very place I live, April 28th, 2021, here in North Carolina, our minimum wage is $7.25. So if you take away 10 from $17.25, that would be your $7.25. And at this moment in time, most CNAs locally are not making $17.25. So I don't really know how a CNA could even afford to live in the apartment by taking a $10 pay cut, because I'm assuming you still got to get paid the minimum wage. So maybe they're being a little bit more picky and choosy as to who gets to live in the apartments and not including the CNAs. I don't know that to be the case, but that's my assumption, as you still got to get paid minimum wage. So, and then I don't know that a CNA can even take that sort of pay cut and then still make it. So it's another thing to consider. Can you take the pay cut and still survive? As your rent may not equal $10 an hour, or whatever it may be. That'd be $400 a week. So quite a bit, actually, when you think about it. Let me know, do you live in one of these places? Do you know of one of these places that people live in? Have you seen these places before? I'm curious. My curiosity is expanding in my mind about these places. I want to know how many of these exist. Do they actually work? Are people happy that they live there? Whatever it may be. I don't know. Let me know. Also, if you like this video, check this one out over here. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe over there. I hope it helps. Thank you much.